Black Power. You know, I'm just here to break down, the beast and shit that be going on amongst our community, amongst our black men, and a lot of our brothers that are supposed to represent us is mostly involved with, saying interracial dating with, dating outside their race, but they speak for us, and I wonder how, does, him and his wife, how do they have conversation on social issues, especially when it's concerning the black issues in the community. And I was wondering how do they cool, have a conversation about that. Well, here's a little audio feed of him and Stephen A. Smith. So it's gonna be a two-part video, but I just wanted y'all to listen to this man because this man is supposed to represent us as a people, but he's here dating, married to a Caucasian. So here it goes. But what bothers me is that when people in my race have a voice and speak to the nature of I made it, so can you. Booker T. Washington had a lot of these very beliefs that we can succeed on our own, and a lot of what's going on in the black community is self-inflicted. I get it, but it's 34 million of us. And they're not 34 million Shannon Sharps. They're not 20,000 Oprahs. They're not 15,000 Denzels. So if we stop thinking along those lines, because as I said before, nobody thinks the LBG community is doing well because Ellen has a talk show. That's not how they think. But because they see you successful, you got a two-term black president. It's almost like Skip. We scored a touchdown in the first quarter, and everything's good. Now we won the game. Since we have a black president, two-term black president, I might add, everything's good. What the cell phone and social media has done, what we thought was getting better, and it has gotten better somewhat, is highlighted. I'm not waiting till 6 o'clock to hear it. I'm not waiting the next day. When this happened, people was talking about it that night, and the next day it was up. What concerns me, Skip, and I tell people this all the time, it's not what I see, it's what I don't see. What I see on cell phones, what I see on camera, on police vests and cameras, that doesn't concern me because I see it. What am I missing that I can't see? That's what should concern America, because this is bigger than what we previously thought. Thing that you told Dr. King on his march to Washington, and he was very nonviolent. Yep. So this is what I don't want. When? How? Can we have this conversation where you don't say, Shannon, look, get you a bro. You good. You on TV. You played 14 years. You're in the Hall of Fame. I get that. I get that I'm okay. I get that I've been able to come out of poverty and was able to take care of my grandmother. But everybody doesn't have that luxury. That's not right of Shannon to only think of Shannon. So you're using your platform to fight back. But what bothers me is that when people in my race have a voice and speak to the nature of I made it, so see that was a direct shot at Stephen A. Smith. So we heard that part with the brother coming in speaking about people in his race, speaking down on the race. But at the same time, do you look, saying prancing around the black community with a white girl? I wonder how the conversations that night that you and her had, as far as, concerning race. I wonder how that go. But anyway, I wanted to hit y'all with this other video, even though my phone's acting funny. But I want to hit y'all with this other video with Stephen A. Smith breaking his point of view down on how he feel about his, what Shannon Sharp said about him. So let's listen. He said if we really want to make change, we need a white athlete to take a stand. You agree with Aaron Rodgers? He said you said Aaron Rodgers, right? Yeah. Well, he said that to Skip Bayless a lot of times. It would be nice, but I'm not sure you need it. I'd like to have it, but you don't need it. One of the things that we have to respect is this. White folks ain't black. Yeah, you can sit up there and not perform acts of hatred, prejudice, racism, violence, whatever, against different segments of our populace. And it would help to be sensitive and remember that during the civil rights era, we would have never propelled ourselves to the heights that we propelled ourselves with if it were not for the assistance of white folks, some conscientious white folks along the way. But in order to provoke and spark them to do that, we have to be careful about crying about racism every chance we get. Because when we mention the word racism and we're looking at white people, they're thinking we're talking about all of them, not that we're talking about some of them. So we got to make sure that we highlight intelligently. Look, we're talking about some and the way you act, not all.
Or just the ones that's committing the crimes and getting away with it.
That's what I'm saying. You're talking about that. We got to make sure we do better, because if you bark into somebody's face and telling them they ain't shit, how incentivized do you think that's going to make them to help you? It's just common sense sometimes. It's just the way it is. And now people will look at me and they'll say, well, who the hell is he to say something like that? Well, our very own president was talking about Black Lives Matter, acknowledged that he supported them, but also encouraged them to listen. And don't just protest everywhere. You got to a point where you saw them protesting the Republican candidates and the Democratic candidates. Well, here was the problem. Ain't one of them going to be president. So don't you need to take a side? Because you're going to need somebody. If you alienate both, where's that going to get you? It's just a question. It's the kind of thing that we have to be mindful of. Because a lot of times I support causes, but I'm sitting there going like this, that ain't the way to handle it. That ain't going to get it done. And when you get older, you ain't into futility. You ain't into doing something that pays no dividends. It's got to show that there's something at the end of the tunnel. You can't just be barking to be barking. You can't just be venting to be venting. It's about getting it done. And are you doing that? That's what we need to ask ourselves. And, we're a resolute people, man. We're strong. We're special. God made us one of a kind. But at the same time, sometimes that friction, that stress gets to us to the point where all other voices here, all other people here, there's noise coming from us. They hear problems all the time, not solutions. And it's just the approach. In corporate America, and I learned this a long time ago, never go to a boss with just your problems. If you don't have solutions, leave the boss alone, because they ain't going to like you. Because no boss just wants to hear problems.
I already know what it is. It's barbershop.
Yeah, this is deep shit. Just let us know what these people are on. You know what I'm saying? These folks is trying to speak for us and really not leading us into no right direction. Both of these guys are, historically illiterate, especially when it comes to historians. They still believe in Jesus. They still believe in some mystical sky daddy when it come down and save us. They're not teaching us how to stand up. They're not telling us how to stand up. And then how can a man tell us how to stand up and you dating, actually married to a Caucasian? And, their fight is not our fight. They got our sisters out there with this feminist movement talking about stand up for the white woman because Trump is in office. We got to do better than what we're doing. Well, anyway, I just dropped a little video, man. Subscribe the page, support. Peace, Black Power.